Well, hello everyone. We have just finished a video to talk about custom software. And in this video, we're going to continue that. We're going to go through the list of custom software providers, and I'm going to give you my initial reaction to the companies that I see there. As you know, I am on a mission to find out what is the state of customs declaration software in the UK in 2024. A lot of things change with the start of CDS, our customs declaration software, the invention of the trade single window, which will give us the opportunity to file customs declarations without relying on third-party software. But should we? So I am on a mission to find the new custom software for my company to help my customers with my reflection on custom software. And maybe that could be interesting for you. As I've explained, we're not going to do a scientific thing. I'm just going to go through the custom software as it presents itself, and then we're gonna talk about it. So if you're ready to do that and come along, let's go. Just moved up here. Hello again. So we were in the last video, we stopped around forwarding and forward solutions. So we're just going to continue go through that. We did A to F in the previous video. And if you wonder what on earth is going on, what is this that Arnie's talking about, there's another video that will talk about why we're doing what we're doing. All right. So you're going to check that out and then you know what's happening. So on we go. There's forward digital limiters, I mentioned, forward solutions, freight station. That provides just simplified declarations for import software under Custran. And then the telephone seems to be Ireland. Okay, I don't know. iCustoms, I've heard a lot. iCustoms is also winner of 2024 multimodal. Is that right? Or am I getting this wrong? I might get it right. I'm not sure. But iCustoms seems to be everywhere. It wasn't on my radar so far, but they seem to do a good marketing job. Whether the software is any good, only Adnan Zaher seems to be able to tell us. Info at iCustoms AI we contacted. So let's see what they have to say. And then if we don't hear from them, here is the website that we can review that. Equinox Limited does imports, it seems. So again, website here. Innovation Integration Limited, cheap imports, a lot of imports. It seems no website here. Just Trade sounds good. What is Just Trade would be my question. But there's a website, so I'm excited to check this out. KlearNow, a very, very important player. I've heard personally, we've been in contact, and I hope that KlearNow is really interested in talking to me about their software. They're doing customs declarations for imports, simplified declarations. I think it's originally an American company, and they are available here now. And that's great because there's a lot of experience with digitalization in America. So KlearNow, also a very cool name because that's what we want to do. We want to customs clear. I want to see what's out there. Langdon Customs and Excise Solution Limited. Imports. Everybody's doing imports. Nobody's doing exports. I've heard of Langdon. I have not heard of Langdon Systems, but I would be excited to hear more about it. So please do get in touch. Logistical Software Ltd. Simplified declarations for imports seems to be very specific to imports and simplified declarations. Mansys. Never heard of this, but so I wonder, like, if we get to this point, what chances do these software providers have to be listed here if all the others are offering quite a lot more? I mean, there's not even a website that I can review, and Neil is not getting back to me. So what? But maybe they don't need new customers. I don't know. But you know, there's still opportunities for anybody to come along. So hey, excuse the sound in the back. Sorry. MCP, yes. So that's your community system provider. Maritime Cargo Processing PLC. Customs declaration search for import export seems to be doing what we needed to do. And because it's maritime cargo, it's not going to be GVMS only. It's probably going to be also Southampton ports and inventory linked ports. Great. Well, what can I say about MIC, right? MIC, so well known, Austrian company, massive expansions over the last years, super successful, and German speaking. So can explain to you in German. So we are one of the few providers of customs clearance services that speak German. MIC can, I mean, Austrian, let's put it that way. They've been around for so long and they are helping with the digitalization. They were one of the first to be ready for Brexit and interlace with HMRC. And they help a lot of Austrian companies who in turn help the German companies because there is then the German speaking aspect. So if you are a German looking for German support, then two options you have. One is MIC, the other one is Arnie, me. Microhelp. Oh wow, what's Microhelp? Customs warehouse. Wow, that's different. I like that. I like that. And simplified declarations for imports. So that sounds very much like only custom software for me. So why Microhelp? Not sure, but I'll look at it. Modaltrans. Wow, I don't even know what to think about that. Modaltrans. I am excited. I just don't know if we're gonna get together because there's no website here and there's no answer to the call. So let's see. Multifreight, my goodness, the things that people come up with, it's impressive. But here we have imports, exports, which is great, and declarations, and we got a website. So let's look at that. Nova ICT. What's ICT stand for? And there's a BRICS app and there is a non-UK number. So this is declaration software, which is simplified for imports. Phlo Systems, one of the newcomers to the market, although they've been around for quite a while. I had the pleasure to speak to them. I think I'm going to stop because there's such a background noise now. So just let's come back in a moment. Hang on a second. I hope you heard that. There was quite a lot of background noise, so I made it go away. So Phlo Systems, yes. So I have talked to them, and I have had the privilege of meeting the owner, and I have been part of the crowdfunding. I've seen the emails with the crowdfunding request. Lots of good things I heard here. Lots of great things. I've seen the custom software already. Had a bit of a sneak peek, so to speak. Looks good, and does what it says, and uses AI in a clever way as well. So, but never mind. You also are very free to contact me, get in touch, and then we can talk a little more about our 2020 questions. And there's information on the website. So looking at that, moving on to REPL, Accenture. Okay, Accenture is doing customs declarations. Didn't know that. There seems to be things, so we can look at that, and there seems to be a website, so fine. SAP, did I know SAP as a provider of custom software? I'm not sure. ERP system, yes, of course, but SAP who does customs clearance software, I'm not sure. I did know that, but okay. Chief import export, pretty standard stuff. Fine. So you can see, like SGS United Kingdom, and again, I've had really good conversation with SGS and heard about their software. As you see, they're all offering kind of the same thing: imports, exports, simplified declaration. So this is not going to be the question. The question is going to be, what else is important to me? What do I value above all? Is it speed? Is it customer service? So I am the one that likes to get support quickly when I have a problem. Is that what's going to happen here? Or am I going to wait hours and hours until I get support, which I can't really use? So this doesn't help me much. I'm looking at the names and I'm seeing this, but I'm not sure I can evaluate this. Shipamax, simplified declaration. Okay, Shipamax. Fine. That's probably not going to be what I'm going to be looking for because I'm not interested in simplified declarations only. The data company, same. Seems to be doing only simplified decks. Thomson Reuters, of course, well known, ONESOURCE, well known, part of a much larger offering. Whether this is the solution for just pure custom software is not sure. I'm not sure. But you see they do global trade management, as does E2Open. So that's a category in itself that's different. Because if you're not only interested in customs declaration filing software, but you are a multinational company that looks at lots of other bits and pieces, restricted party screening, import solutions, export solutions, I don't know, customs warehousing, special procedures, all of that, then Thomson Reuters, as with E2Open, could be a really interesting solution. Although E2Open goes even further and goes into upstream supply chain and downstream supply chain. So there's basically the whole supply chain copied in a digital twin. And that is, you know, it gives you then unparalleled, in a way, opportunities. But that is more for global companies, multinational companies that have worldwide operations. And Thomson Reuters and global trade management certainly goes there in this kind of direction. So excited to see what they can do. Yes, of course. How could it not be Thyme-IT? Thyme-IT I worked with when we did the Irish training for the Irish for Brexit, right? And they had to tell them how to use software declaration. So I was trained on Thyme-IT at the time that we were giving people import declaration, how to lodge import declarations into the UK. And that was great. It was really cool to see how software in action in Ireland looked like. And I know that they've been there. I've been talking to them about software, so I hope they're going to get back to me and schedule an interview, because that would be really interesting to see what the software is like. Seems to be an email address here as well, and that means also a website, so we can check that out and see what that means. So Steve, if you're interested, then let's talk. TTG, don't know. Do you know TTG? I don't know TTG. So, but there's a website, and but they do chief. So if they do chief only, we don't need to talk more. I don't think that's right. Vision Software by Ontech Solutions. Imports again. No obvious website. Fine. This Vixsoft Systems seems to do what's on the tin, what we need. But why would I go for Vixsoft System? What's the reason? And that's what I tried to figure out. I see all these offers, and I just by reading this, I don't understand if they're any good or not. So how can I without talking to them? But do you want to talk to 50 providers? I normally don't, but I will for you guys. But for that, they need to be willing to talk to me. So let's see if they're interested. Because it's no good in them telling me offline without recording this, because then it's not going to help. So I want to see who is willing to come on to this channel to speak about their software. Voucher Unlimited provides simplified declarations. Okay. ViceTech, of course, ViceTech, well known. Again, one of these global player along with Thomson Reuters and E2Open. So big, so massive operation, Australian company, and good friends. And my former boss works there now as customs guru, so to speak. So WiseTech Global is very interesting. Declaration for chief, import, export, simplified declaration, import, export. Fine, there's an email address, and then there is a website, so we get to look at that. And that brings us to the end, would you believe? There is Zenture, and they do imports. Yeah, and that seems to be in the UK as well. So we're happy to check that out. There is also a Association of Freight Software Suppliers, AFSS, and I've talked to Steve, and I have offered him the opportunity to come on board as well. So we'll see if he's interested in the interview as well. So that concludes my whistle-stop tour of the customs houses that offer custom software. Now, have we learned? What have we learned? We have learned that there are quite a lot of companies offering solutions. We've learned that most have websites that we can explore. We have learned that the offer of services varies. There's usually always import. There's not always export. And there's nothing about special procedures. One company I saw that does just customs warehousing software, and probably not customs declaration per se. And I also noticed that just by looking at this website, I am appreciative of the fact that there's so many vendors, but I have no clue which one I should choose. So we need to do some more digging. And based on that, I have created these criterias. And these criterias are important because they help to determine whether we should be, what matters. Now, this is of course personal, but things like reliability of system, data protection, flexibility, all of that is really important. Price, of course, matters. It will all depend on what you want to do with the thing and what your volumes of customs declaration that you're going to push through this as well. So obviously it all depends, but we can do and give some steerers for sure. All right, well, that's it for this video. Next time we're going to go through the software houses bit by bit, and we're going to see who's willing to chat to us and who isn't. And if you are happy to chat to us, then come along, get in touch, and we can schedule an interview. And if you're not, then that's fine as well. We'll just review your software with the online offering that we can see. And I'll explain in the next video as well how we're going to do this again and then go into a bit more granular detail. So I hope this was useful. If you liked it, let me know. And then we'll talk again soon. All the best. Thank you very much.